It's the age-old story of sharks versus coconuts, and even now, bears versus babies. Really, what do human beings understand about risk? One of my favourite and most popular talks that I give actually talks about coconuts versus sharks, and how the sharks are seen as far more dangerous than coconuts, but actually the reverse is true. The same also holds for bears versus babies. Bear deaths over a period of time are in the low single digits, whereas babies shooting adults is actually in the mid to high 40s. Chart behind me. Now, why does this not compute for us? Why do our brains actually tell us that this cannot be true? Bears are obviously far more dangerous than babies, but the statistics are telling us otherwise. It's because of our little primate brains in our head are not designed for modern life and are not designed to actually treat risk as effectively as it could. Now, I categorise risk into three specific areas. First off is the perceived risk. This is the risk that we think is there. So, for instance, the shark versus the coconut, or the bear versus the baby. The second is a hygiene risk. The hygiene risk is the one that we think we need to fix anyway. In my talk, it's the one about putting the toilet lid down after flushing it, or putting it down before flushing it. And the third one is, of course, the actual risk, risks we need to deal with. Now, why is this important? Mainly because in our risk registers, we overinflate so many of our risks. I even read one not so long ago that said attack by wild dogs and had that in as an actual risk and rated it as medium to high. Now, in many countries, that may or may not be true, but the actual use of that risk and how relevant it is particularly low in that particular environment. Somebody let themselves get away with it. Now, what we need to do, therefore, is two things. One, review our risk registers and make sure that they are accurate and we're not throwing in any perceived or hygiene risks. And two, by reviewing them regularly, we're trimming out anything that pops up occasionally when we might not be thinking. Now, by doing the second one, what we're actually finding, therefore, is that the risk register is much lighter, easier to manage, far easier to actually use and make it effective. So the next time you cross the road or jump into an aeroplane, or even do some skydiving, just think, risk is not always what you think it's going to be.